What if there isn't even actually an endpoint? What if we enjoy ourselves and trust ourselves and also be okay when we're not sure if it's even going to work out? Because if we're focusing more on the process, it is essentially going to work out no matter what, right? You are listening to the Beyond the Classroom podcast, a podcast for burnt-out teachers who know something's gotta give. After teaching for 14 years and feeling completely burned out for way too long, in May of 2022, I made a big decision and left the classroom. I now help burnt-out teachers like you take back balance and joy so you can wake up every day loving your life. In this podcast, we'll explore who you are beyond the classroom, whether you're considering leaving or wanting to make changes so you can fall in love with teaching again. Either way, I understand what it's like to be living a life that looks fun and cute on the outside. You know, summer's off, playing all day, off at 2 o'clock every day, but actually feels miserable and draining. I'm your host and coach, Sandy Patterson, and I'm so excited to help you step into your fullest potential and believe in that potential to make an impact on the world, not just survive each day. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hello, and welcome back to the Beyond the Classroom podcast. I'm so happy you're here today, like always, and today I am going to get a little bit vulnerable here and put myself out there in a way that I am not super comfortable with, but I think this needs to be said because I know for a fact that I am not the only one dealing with this. So, when I left teaching, I had an idea of what would happen. I wasn't exactly sure, but I am a planner and I had an anticipated timeline of when things would happen. And I say that I'm a planner, but when I say that, I'm like a big time planner, like through and through. I love to have a plan. I don't like when things like go off track. And I like to just know like what's coming and what to expect. So in October, I started a coach training program, as many of you know, to become a certified life coach. And I figured by May, that was 6 whole months, right, that I would have my coaching business built up and thriving and running, and it was going to be great. And I did all the things, and I'm doing all the things intentionally and succinctly, and I trust that I am doing the right things. But this timeline I've imposed on myself seems to have a mind of its own. So now I have some choices to make here. So I can give up, I can panic and make it all mean something, or I can lean into the process and let go of the timeline and the outcome. And guess which ones are the easiest for me? So option number 1, giving up, sounds nice right about now, to just throw in the towel because I'm tired, but I'm also scrappy. And when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So this really isn't an option for me. I've committed to this vision, and I believe deeply that teachers need a space to release guilt and release those limiting beliefs that all they know how to do is teach. And I believe anyone can build a life that they truly love. And if teaching isn't serving you anymore, you can create a life that serves you and your family. You are not stuck unless you think you're stuck. And it is my mission to help people see this and believe this and live this. And this doesn't necessarily mean that I am trying to talk anyone out of leaving the classroom. I just know how miserable I was and how I felt so stuck in that space. And to be able to break through that was truly, truly life-changing. And so, like I said, now it is my mission to help other women achieve this as well. So in essence, giving up on this belief and this mission is not an option for me, and I am all in. So that's not an option. Giving up is not an option for me. Number 2, I'm very good at panicking. You can ask my husband this because for me, letting go of an anticipated timeline is incredibly hard. So I'm panicking that it's not working. I'm panicking that it's never going to work. I'm panicking that I've wasted my time and my energy. And none of this is true. These are all just stories that I'm telling myself, and I recognize that. But I know that you can probably relate to me on this. There are so many timelines that society puts on us to finish school, to find a career, to get married, to start a family, and blah, 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 all those things. Plus, so many timelines that we self-impose on ourselves to be a good parent, to start a business, to be the best at everything right away, and to have everything all figured out. And I hear this from my clients quite often. I hear, I thought I would be farther along than I am. I hear, I saw on social media, so-and-so was able to replace her income in 3 months. And how come I haven't been able to do that? I'm doing all the things too. I hear, she built a business in 6 months and it was just like on accident. Why is this so hard for me? I get this one a lot too. I thought I would be able to find a new career by, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months. And notice the word career there, not job. Jobs are easy to find, careers take time. But I hear that often. I thought I would be able to find a new career in a month, and that's just not happening. So if you're feeling any of these things that are pertaining to teaching or not, please just know that you are not alone. And I hear these things more often than not, and I am even living them with you. So here's option number 3. What if we let go of the outcome and start focusing more on the process and consider the process the return on investment? So what if it's actually not about the endpoint? What if there isn't even actually an endpoint? What if we enjoy ourselves and trust ourselves and also be okay when we're not sure if it's even going to work out? Because if we're focusing more on the process, it is essentially going to work out no matter what, right? And what I just described is complete, beautiful, messy freedom, right? Freedom to try and fail. Freedom to lean into the chaos and the icky parts of building and doing something different and beautiful. Freedom to just be enough and to show up as you are, however you are, and just know that that's enough. So today we are going to chat about ways to work on releasing this timeline and leaning more into the process and less on the outcome. So this is a big one. So number 1, let go of the outcome and redefine what success means. So if we stay focused on the outcome and not the actual values and the mission, there is really no way to fail. And trust me, I know this is so hard because as teachers and type A people, or even type B people, and C and D and E and F, we are so used to being in control as teachers. We got to let go of that, myself included. I'm literally talking to myself right now. If your intentions are so focused on a certain outcome, think about it. You really have no room for amazing, unexpected opportunities to enter because you are so zeroed in on this outcome. What if succeeding is just creating space and enjoying life and allowing those unexpected opportunities to come in and arise, not necessarily reaching the actual goal? And yes, this is easier said than done, absolutely. And it requires a ton of intentionality and a ton of growth. Is it possible? Yes. And when you reach that spot of just focusing on the process and what's the growth that's happening as you work your way towards that goal, you feel so much more in alignment and in a flow almost. So that's a big one. The other piece of this number 1 is redefining what success looks like. So a lot of times it's very like black and white. Like I either failed or I achieved the goal. But really, there's so much in between those spaces. And if you're redefining success instead of just focusing on that endpoint and you're defining it as the things that happen in the middle, that middle space, it has to be success. Like we have to focus on that success. Now, number 2 is turning the process into the ROI. So ROI stands for the return on investment. So the investment is either the money or the time or the effort that you're putting into making something happen. And I was absolutely mind blown at first when I started thinking about things like this. So the ROI is the process, not what you get or you reach at the end. And often we think as soon as I get a certain amount of clients or a certain amount of money or revenue, or as soon as I get that job, or as soon as I do this or whatever it is, then I'll feel happy and I'll feel content and I'll feel confident and I won't be worried. But this is actually not the case. All of those same things that we feel are still going to be there unless you peel back to the real root of the issues. So those things are going to be there no matter what. So in the process, why not enjoy what's happening in the middle here, work on recognizing and peeling back those layers, and then release the pressure of how things end, of that outcome. If we can release that piece, we're good to go because there's not that intense amount of pressure to succeed and not fail. Really, there is no failure. Number 3 is to not worry so much about what other people or society thinks. This is another hard one, of course. If you're following your own heart, you really cannot possibly go wrong. So if you are absolutely true to yourself in making your decisions, there's no way that you're going to go wrong. There are so many things that we are supposed to do and we're told to do. Starting from a very young age, we're taught to go to school and do well in school and then get a job and then get married and, start a family. But it's almost as if society tells us that there's only one right path to go down. And if you don't go down that path and meet the milestones at the right amount of time, you failed. And this is simply not true. The only way you're going to fail is if you don't try and if you're not following your heart. And it's hard to do something different or be something different and to step outside that box because as humans, we all want to be part of the group and part of the pack, right? And accepted and connected. But once you can build up that confidence and that trust in yourself and that self-love to step out and stop worrying about what other people think of us and just really worry about our relationship with ourselves and what we think about us, you can't fail. You absolutely cannot fail. And it also releases a little bit more of that pressure. Number 4 is do what you can and then surrender. Patience is synonymous with trust, right? Trusting that what you are doing is enough and trusting that the universe or God or whoever you believe in has your back and that everything will work out exactly as it should. Now, patience doesn't just mean doing nothing and sitting and waiting around for something to happen. You have to actually make it happen, right? And know that you've done everything you can and then let go. It is giving up on the idea that you have control over the outcome. And we talked about this a little bit before because really you don't. You have control over how you show up and the actions you take to get to a certain goal, but you really don't have control over how things turn out. So to sum this all up, if you have a timeline and you haven't made it to where you thought you would be or you should be right now, that's okay. It is all good. Just keep going. And there are 4 things that we chatted about today that you can start to do, start to think about, start to embody to let go of that timeline. So number 1 is letting go of the outcome and redefining what success looks like for you. Number 2 is turn the process into the return on investment. Number 3 is try not to let what other people think bother you. And number 4 is take action and then trust, surrender, and be patient. Thanks for hanging out with me until the end today. I appreciate you so much. I can't wait to hear what resonates with you. I would love to hear which one of these you're going to try or what really stood out to you today, because I know I'm not alone in this. And the best part about this podcast is chatting with you, connecting with you, and I appreciate you so much. So until next time, take care, stay healthy, and I'll see you at the next episode. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Beyond the Classroom. If you know something has to change and you're ready to take the next step to make it happen, whether it's in or out of the classroom, let's talk it through together. Schedule a no-obligation chat with me and we can talk through where you're stuck, how to get you unstuck, and how to keep you moving forward. Schedule your free call today by clicking the link in the show notes. I can't wait to connect with you.